I'm filming my new instructional, the Mobility Matrix, right now. And I wanted to take a quick break to bring you along for this free full body mobility routine. What's going on, guys? My name is Josh Setledge. I am the BJJ Strength Coach. I'm filming my new instructional, the Mobility Matrix, right now. And I wanted to take a quick break to bring you along for this free full body mobility routine. All you're gonna need is a kettlebell and a lacrosse ball. That's it. There's those two items. The first thing we're gonna do is kind of be an active range of motion drill or an active mobility movement. It's something that I love doing, and I've had all of you guys probably do this before. If you've been following my YouTube channel for a minute, you're going to be very familiar with this one, but it's going to be the 90-90 hip drill. Basically what we're doing is we're working on hip internal rotation on this side and hip external rotation on this side. When the inside of our knee is coming to the floor or crossing the midline of our body, that's internal rotation. When the outside of our knee is at the floor on this side, or we're pulling our knee outside our body or away from our midline, that's going to be external rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 sets of 10 reps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On this next set of 10, we're going to add a little bit of a stretch between each rep to get a little more range of motion. So as we come over to one side, we'll start to keep our back straight and start to push our chest to the floor just a little bit. Come around to the other side, back straight, pressing our chest down. You're going to feel quite a bit of a stretch in that front glute. I guess you could say back glute. Glutes are in the back of your body, but on the side of your front leg, I guess I should say. Then we'll come back. Same thing on the other side. Back straight, posture up nice and tall, pressing that chest down. As we're working through this, you can even start to rotate your shoulders a little bit. Try to get a little bit of a stretch over there. As you're working from side to side, try your best not to lean too far back so that you have the room to get your legs over. We want to try to keep an upright chest in an upright posture as much as we can so that we can use the muscles of our hips to rotate over to the other side. I'll be honest, I kind of lost count, so we'll do one more each side. Back straight, posture up nice and tall, pressing that chest down. Feeling the stretch in the glute. Coming back to the other side. Chest up nice and tall, pressing down with the chest. And back. And for the last set, we're going to do what's called contract relax. I've done a video on this before, but I'll explain it again for you guys. When we get to the end position here, we're going to take a big deep breath in through our nose, and we're going to stuff that air deep kind of into our waistband. We're going to flex the muscles of our entire lower body. So I'm trying to pull this leg down to the floor. I'm trying to push this leg into the floor. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. Then we're going to exhale and breathe for 10 seconds. So it looks something like this. As you exhale, try to lean into the stretch just a little bit more. And then we'll switch to the other side. you can get to a point where you can drop your chest all the way down onto your thigh and your knee, that would be ideal. I'm not quite there yet. I am pretty tight. I'm pretty sore from yesterday's training session. You can even come down on your elbows and hang out here for a little bit. Take a couple deep breaths. Walk your hands back and come on over to the other side. We'll come down on our elbows. 2 big deep breaths. Walking our hands back and coming back to the center. So we took care of our hips. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take care of our upper back. You're gonna get your lacrosse ball, you're gonna come down, and you're gonna put it underneath your trap. So if I turn this way, you guys should be able to see kind of where I'm at. You're gonna put it under that meaty part in your trap. Some of you guys, that might be plenty of pressure right there. You don't need anything else. Some of you guys who have been doing this for a little bit can maybe work into a more advanced variation. We're gonna do a glute bridge to drive our hips up. Put as much pressure on that as we can. Bringing our arm up, and we're gonna come down, keeping our fingers splayed wide till we touch, and back. One thing I like to do to add a little flair to it is once I'm back to neutral, I'm gonna come down in the same motion as I would bench press. Come down here, let the elbow touch. Press, finger splayed, and drop it back. You're gonna do 2 minutes on each side, working through this pressing motion and this shoulder flexion or reaching overhead motion. Once you hit that for 2 minutes on each side, you're gonna grab your kettlebell and we're gonna take care of our gut. This is a gut smash. It's important, especially as jiu-jitsu and wrestling athletes, that we take care of the muscles in the front of our body, because a lot of times when you're playing guard and you're in a guard position, you're flexing your abs, you're curling your spine in a globally flexed position. Regardless of what kind of guard you're playing, when you're in your wrestling stance, you're here, you're trying to find home in your wrestling stance, and you're closing all of this off. But when we need to, when we go in deep for a takedown, you're gonna come in and you're gonna explode and go through a ton of hip extension in this position here. Any good wrestler knows that you can't do a takedown like this. You gotta pop your hips through. That's what carries and that's what gets the big 5-point throw. That's what gets all the females sliding in your DMs, allegedly. So what we're gonna do to help kind of loosen up the muscles in the front of our body is use this kettlebell, and we're gonna mash our gut. So you'll pull the kettlebell close to you. We'll do one side at a time. Ugh. This one's very uncomfortable. You'll kind of lay half of your stomach kind of in line with your belly button over the kettlebell. And you'll just start to breathe and try to melt your stomach and your whole body over the kettlebell. Imagine like you're a big body of butter and the kettlebell is a hot knife, and you're just kind of melting over the top, allowing that kettlebell to dig in. As you can see, I'm kind of rocking back and forth, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for something that's especially tight, kind of like that position right there. And once you find that spot, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hang out there for a little bit. You're taking a big deep breath. You're gonna contract for 5 seconds. And you'll exhale and inhale. Kind of rock back and forth. You can run through a couple rounds of the contract relax drill. Ideally, we're going to be doing this for 2 minutes on each side, so you should have a good opportunity and plenty of time to work through a few rounds of the contract relax drill. You'll do that on each side, and that is your free full body mobility routine. I'm doing this as kind of like a teaser for the Mobility Matrix, which is my new instructional that's going to be dropping in May of 2021. I'm so excited to bring this to you guys because as a grappling athlete, we're in sports that are literally designed, whether you're a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu athlete, you're in a sport where it is literally designed to break your opponent and like destroy all of their limbs. If you're in jiu-jitsu, you're trying to rip someone's arm off their body, you're trying to strangle them unconscious. If you're a wrestler, you're literally trying to find as much physical advantages as you can to create levers against joints in ways they're not designed to bend, so that you can expose their shoulders to the mat. The nature of these sports is, I don't want to say aggressive. It can be aggressive, but it's very combative. And the fact of the matter is that we're all going to get injured. We can't guarantee that we're never going to get injured in grappling sports. However, if I have anything to say about it, I want to help you guys decrease your risk of injury as much as possible. So that's why I created this full body self-care system, the Mobility Matrix, which is going to allow you to assess and address pain, decrease the pain that you're currently experiencing, while also helping you become a better grappler because of it. If you're interested in the Mobility Matrix, just head on over to themobilitymatrix.com. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.